go ahead and open a new Colab notebook with me, colab.research.google.com. Click on the new notebook option. This is going to be an advanced lesson for beginners. I'm going to show you how to navigate through the NumPy library. Okay, NumPy is short for numerical Python. Now, the first line of code is going to be the following. We're going to import, we need to import this library, it's not here already, NumPy, and then go ahead and put in as in P. So in P is short for NumPy, and this is a standard import, meaning most people around the world, when they import NumPy, they do it as in P. So the idea here, if you use a library semi-frequently, instead of always writing NumPy, you can just write NP for short. Technically, you could call this whatever you want, but it is good to use the standards that most people use. So go ahead and press Shift-Enter. And what this does now is it loads the NumPy library into this session. Okay? Python is kept to be fast by not overloading you with a bunch of libraries you might not need. So how do we use the NumPy library? You do it by typing np, because that's how we saved it. And then we're going to use what's called dot notation. So press a dot, okay, like a period. And then you start to see a list of a bunch of items in the NumPy library. And you can kind of scroll down here and you see all these different options. There's really a lot here. And so you see a lot of different math functions. We're just in the A's here. Okay, so this is a really impressive library. Now, let me just go over some things that I like to use in NumPy. There are actually numbers that you might like the number pi. And so if you want to guess, how could I find the value pi in the NumPy library? We'll start typing pi. There you see it under p, pi, right? np.pi, press Shift-Enter to run that code. And this is sort of Python's standard numerical representation of pi out to this number of decimal places. Okay, similarly, you have the value of e, which is probably the second most popular transcendental number. So if you do np.e, you get the expected value of 2.718. Okay, for those of you who know trigonometry, trig functions are in here, like the sine of an angle. Okay, you see that? And so what you would do then is in parentheses, you would put, well, what's the value that you actually want to use? What's actually in radians here. And so, I mean, a simple one you can do is 0, because 0 is the same in radians and degrees. And you get 0.0. And to verify, if you know your trig, you should know that the cosine of 0 is 1. So if you press Shift-Enter, you in fact do get the expected float of 1.0. Okay, what else do you have in NumPy? Something I like to use a lot is the random library is actually inside of NumPy. So this is a separate library, which means to invoke it, you want to use the dot again. So random.random. And then if you go ahead and like enter that, you can see it's a random number. And what's fun is you can do it again and again. You can have fun. You can do as many times as you want. And it's always going to be numbers between 0 and 1. If you want to do it between like specific numbers. Okay, like let's say you want to do like you want to roll a dice. You do random integers between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You actually go up to 7 because the last one is excluded. Okay, so this is rolling a dice. We get 5, 2. You just want to do a few to verify that it works sort of as expected. Okay, a lot of great stuff in here. We're going to be using NumPy more later. What's kind of fun too, you can just try different letters and see what's stored under the letter, like R, okay? And look, there's the round function. Well, rounding is certainly useful, right? And so it's giving an underscore. I think it should just be, oh, well, Python has the global round function. Let's see if this works. If I want to round 3.14, you do get the value of, say, 3. If you change it to 3.54, unlike the integer division, it does in fact go up to 4. I mentioned a global function. Round is a global function, so you don't need the NumPy library for that. You can simply enter whatever you want inside, and it will in fact round up. Okay, so this is not meant to be a comprehensive survey of NumPy, just a few nice sort of elements that are in there. You know, I would say basically, if you want to do some type of Python computation and you're not and you don't see how to do it using regular Python, it's going to be in NumPy, like logarithms, right? So how would you do a logarithm? Well, it's NP dot, you just start typing log, okay? And you see here, this is sort of interesting, you see log, log 10, log 2, so those would be log base 10, log base 2. The default base for a logarithm is actually E. Okay, and to show you the difference, like if you say, what's the log of 100? Well, how many E's go into 100? About 4.6. Okay, he's about 2.7. But then we saw the nice log base 10 in there. Okay, that's what this one is, log 10. And so now if you want to find the logarithm of 100, the question is 10 to what power is 100? It is in fact 2.0. So with the addition of the NumPy library, you can really make a robust calculator in Python.